They never spoke, yet their hearts understood everything. Jessica noticed him for the first time on a quiet morning train. The city was awake, but the train was calm. People stared at their phones, lost in their own worlds. He sat across from her, holding a book, his eyes peaceful, his presence gentle. They did not speak. The train moved, and time felt slow. Jessica looked away, then looked back again. He was still there, reading, turning pages carefully. There was something comforting about him, something familiar, even though they were strangers. Every morning after that, they saw each other again. Same train, same time, same silence. Sometimes their eyes met for a second. Both would look away quickly, pretending nothing happened. But inside, something warm grew, a feeling without words. Jessica did not know his name. She only knew the way he smiled softly when he finished a chapter, and how he always offered his seat to elderly passengers. Kindness speaks louder than words. Days turned into weeks. One rainy morning, the train was crowded. Jessica stood, holding the handle. Suddenly, the train shook, and she lost her balance. Before she could fall, a hand gently held her arm. It was him. "Careful," he said quietly. That was the first word between them. "Thank you," Jessica replied, her voice almost a whisper. He nodded and smiled. No more words were needed. From that day, silence felt different. It was no longer empty. It was full. They started sitting closer. Sometimes they shared small smiles. Sometimes he showed her a line from his book. Sometimes she shared her earphones, and they listened to music together without speaking. Silence became their language. Jessica learned that his name was Ethan. Ethan learned that she loved quiet mornings and soft music. They never rushed anything. They let moments breathe. One evening, the train stopped longer than usual. The lights dimmed. People complained. Jessica felt nervous. Ethan looked at her and smiled. "Looks like the train wants us to talk," he said gently. She laughed for the first time with him. "Maybe it does." They talked about simple things, work, dreams, life. Their voices were calm, honest, and warm. It felt like talking to someone she had known for years. When the train finally moved again, neither wanted the moment to end. At her stop, Jessica stood up. She hesitated. "I'll see you tomorrow," she asked. Ethan smiled. "I hope so." That night, Jessica realized something important. Love does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes quietly, sits beside you, and waits for your heart to notice. Their love did not begin with promises. It began with presence, with silence, with the hearts meeting gently, without fear. And that silence became the most beautiful love story of all. Silence brought them together, but love slowly taught them how to speak. The next morning, Jessica boarded the train with a quiet smile. She did not look around immediately. She waited. Then she felt a calm presence beside her. Ethan was there. He smiled, and this time, she smiled back without looking away. They Saturday together as the city passed by. No rush, no pressure, just comfort. Days went by, and their connection grew gently. They talked a little more each day. Not long conversations, just honest ones. They spoke about their families, their childhood memories, and the dreams they carried quietly inside. One evening, Ethan asked, "Do you like coffee?" Jessica smiled. "I love it." They got off the train together for the first time. A small cafe stood near the station. Warm lights, soft music. They sat by the window, watching people walk by. The silence between them was still to read, but now it felt like peace, not distance. Ethan looked at her and said softly, "I feel calm with you." Jessica felt her heart slow down. "Me too," she replied. They did not define anything. They did not promise anything. They simply chose each other, one moment at a time. Life tested them gently. Some days were busy. Some days they missed the train together. On those days, they sent short messages. "Tomorrow." "Yes, tomorrow." One rainy evening, Jessica felt unsure. What if silence is not enough forever? She asked. Ethan listened carefully. "Silence brought us here," he said, "but love will teach us when to speak." That night, he held her hand for the first time. It was warm, steady, real. Months passed. Their love stayed soft, not loud. They supported each other quietly. They listened. They stayed. Jessica learned that love does not need to be dramatic. It does not need many words. It needs understanding, patience, and presence. Ethan learned that speaking from the heart matters even when silence feels safe. One morning, on the same train where it all began, Ethan looked at Jessica and said, "Thank you for choosing me." She smiled and replied, "Thank you for seeing me." Two hearts had met in silence, and together, they learned how to love gently, deeply, and honestly.